video we are going to talk about the female reproductive system under the slides review. Yesterday we talked about the general structure of ovarium and uterus. Here you can see our lecture different parts. We talked about these parts, and you know the ovary covered with the simple cuboidal epithelium, and under the epithelium here we have tunica albuginea, a type of connective tissue, irregular dense connective tissue. Here you can see the hilum of the ovarium, and from the hilum this part is our medulla filled with blood vessels and some stromal cells, and this part is the cortex. In cortex, as you can see, we have different types of the follicles. Again here, for example, you can see an example for Graafian follicle, or primary multilaminar follicle in this part, primary unilaminar follicle you can see in this part. Generally, in the most peripheral side here, you can find the primordial follicles. When we look at the general structure of a female reproductive system, you can see the ovaries in both sides, and in the upper side you can see tuba uterina. Tuba uterina divided in four parts: the infundibulum and the ampulla, and this part is the isthmus and intrauterine part present in this part. In infundibular part, you can see the fimbrias, and this part is the uterus connected with the vagina with cervix. You can see here. Okay, let me look at this part. This is a section from the ovary. You can see follicles in different stages. This is our follicles in primordial stage, or primordial follicles. How we can understand this follicle is primordial? When we look at the structure, you can see flat cells which surround the primary oocyte. This is our primary oocyte, this is the nuclei, and here you can see this simple squamous epithelial cell. These cells is our follicular cells, and in the outer side we have stromal cells. Then the primordial follicle changes into the primary follicle. Here we have a primary multilaminar follicle. Why I told this is a multilaminar follicle? Because we have more than one layer of cuboidal cells around the primary oocyte. What is this structure, this pink structure? This is our zona pellucida. And here we can see an example for antral follicle, or secondary follicle. In secondary follicle, here you can see our antrum. This is the antrum. Here you can see the secondary primary follicle surrounded with zona pellucida, and granulosa cells surround the follicle, surround the oocyte, and also the wall of the follicle. Here you can see our basement membrane in this part, and in outer side here you can see the theca interna and theca externa structures. And here you can see a section from Graafian follicle. In Graafian follicle we have a large antrum, larger than the secondary follicle, and as you can see, oocyte with corona radiata cells pushed to the peripheral side and connected with the granulosa layer with this cumulus oophorus side. And again in outer side you can see the theca interna and theca externa in this part. After ovulation, here you can see the ovulation stage. Before ovulation, guys, as you can see, this Graafian follicle attached to the wall of the ovary in this part, and because of the pressure from the Graafian follicle toward the wall of the ovarium, this part capillaries goes to collapse, and in this part you can see stigma area. After this area rupture, follicle goes to ovulation, and after ovulation you can see the secondary oocyte, zona pellucida, and first polar body, and also the corona radiata in the outer side. The ruminal parts of the follicle, as you can see, goes to change into the corpus hemorrhagicum, and after that change it into the corpus luteum. Here you can see the corpus luteum. Corpus luteum have two types of the cell, granulosa lutein and theca lutein cells. And after that, corpus luteum changes into the corpus albicans, filled with fibrillar tissue or fibrillar scar, and within some months it's going to disappear. Here you can see the corpus albicans. And here you can see more than one follicle goes to folliculogenesis stage, but only one or two of them can reach the graphial stage, and the rest of them goes to the atresia. Again, here you can see different types of the follicles. You know the name of these follicles: primordial follicle, unilamellar primary follicle, multilamellar primary follicle, and in outer side of the multilamellar primary follicle you can see the theca cells goes to arrangement to form the theca layer. In secondary or antral follicle we have theca interna, theca externa, anthrope side. The anthropes can be merged or could be in primary stage of the secondary follicle, and in the end of the secondary follicle development, all of these anthropes merge with each other. And in last stage, we have the mature or graphial follicle with large anthrop. This part is corona radiata, cumulus oophorus, and the granulosa cell layer, theca interna, theca externa. Here you can see the basement membrane, which divide the granulosa cells from outer side theca structures. Here you can see example for primordial follicles with flat follicle cells in the outer side. During the development of primary follicles, under the cell membrane of primary oocytes, some granules, some specialized granules goes to form. These granules known as the cortical granules, a type of secretory granules, and as you know, the cortical granules have an important role in the blocking of entry or prevent of entering of more than one sperm into the oocyte with the cortical reaction, and also they have a role in zonal reaction to prevent again entering of more than one sperm into the oocyte. Okay, here you can see different types of the follicle. Could you say me the name of this follicle? What is the name of this follicle? Unilaminar primary follicle, because we have only one layer of cuboidal cells. What is the name of this follicle? Primordial follicle, another primordial follicle. What is the name of this follicle? Again, unilaminar. We have only one layer. In this part you can see more than one layer, but the general structure related with unilaminar. What is the name of this follicle? Multilaminar primary follicle. This is the zona pellucida, And here you can see the basement membrane, the outer side of the granulosa cell. Here you can see the primary follicle under the electron microscopy. This cells is our granulosa cells, and here you can see the structure of zona pellucida. And as you can see, the granulosa cells sends their cell extensions toward the follicle, toward the oocyte from zona pellucida. We talked about the theca interna and theca externa and also graphian follicle in our yesterday lecture. What is the name of this follicle? Secondary follicle. You can see anthrones and oocyte in this part. What is the name of this oocyte? Primary or secondary oocyte? Primary oocyte. What is the name of this follicle? Again, secondary follicle with major antral structure. What is the name of this part? Theca interna and theca externa. In theca externa we have which type of cells? Muscle cells. Generally, smooth muscle cells and fibers present in this part. Which cells generally present in theca interna? How we can understand this part is theca interna? Androgen producing cells or androgen producing cells, and because of the lipid structure of these productions, you can see clear cytoplasma in the inner side of the theca interna cells. And also we have high amount of vascular or capillaries again in this side. Okay. What is the role of the granulosa cells? Protecting the oocyte. The other one, nutrition to oocyte. They can transfer the nutrients. And also, they produce the antral follicle, antral side fluid. Here we have a fluid in this part. This fluid known as the follicular fluid. Okay? And the other role of the granulosa cells? That cells is granulosa lutein cells. But these cells is our normal granulosa cells and have a role in producing of estrogen. Estrogen. What is the role of estrogen? What? Continuing the cycle. Which cycle? Remember this part under the here. Remember the proliferation stage of the uterus valve. Proliferation stage continues proliferation under the effect of estrogen. Okay? What is the role of the, oh, we talked about that, theca interna, theca externa, okay. Let me look at the wall of the antral follicle in high magnification. Here we can see our antral. In this part we can see granulosa layer. This part is basement membrane. Here we can see theca interna cells with foamy cytoplasma. Look at the cytoplasma. This cytoplasma appear when our cells have a role in producing of the androgen or in production of the lipid structure hormones. Here you can see the theca externa, you can see the smooth muscle cells nuclei in this part. And in outer side of theca interna and externa, we have normal stroma of follicle. Here you can see an arthritic follicle. In arthritic follicle, as you can see, the oocyte completely detached from the granulosa cells, and the granulosa cells goes to the apoptosis. You can see these died cells between the granulosa cell layer, and also theca interna and theca externa goes to degenerate. Athletic follicles can form the glassy structures in the cortex of the ovarium, the glassy structure related with athletic follicles. Also, we have dominant follicle, which goes to the continued development and ended with ovulation. We talked about this part. This part related with the hormonal stimulation and related with the ovulation. Also here you can see before ovulation we have meiosis 1 completed stage before ovulation, and also you can see the granulosa cells start to produce the prostaglandin, and this prostaglandin have a role again in the ovulation, and ovarian wall weaknesses again have a role in this function, and also smooth muscle contraction have final role in the ovulation. But the main role related with the LH increase. Okay, here you can see the oogenesis stages. As you know, these stages start before the birth, and the oocyte start to change into the primary oocyte and arrested in prophase 1. This part is oogenesis part, and this part related with the follicle development. Here we can see primary oocyte present in the inner side of the follicle, surrounded with follicular cell. And in childhood stage, we don't have any function. After puberty, as you can see, follicles goes to development, and in mature stage, our primary follicle form the secondary. Our primary oocyte form the secondary oocyte and also first polar body. After fertilization, the secondary oocyte changes into the ovum and secondary polar body, and follicles changes into the corpus luteum and corpus albicans. Here we can see hormonal regulation of the ovarian functions. All of these functions under the control of the hypothalamus with GnRH. GnRH induce the anterior pituitary to produce the FSH and LH. FSH affect on the granulosa cells and start the follicle development. After follicular development, estrogen level goes to increase, especially during the secondary follicle stage or mature follicle stage. And with this increasing in estrogen, with positive feedback, affect the hypothalamus and anterior hypophysis. Under this effect, LH surge increase. Okay, with positive effect of estrogen, LH surge increase and lead to ovulation. After that, again LH surge affect the corpus luteum, and under this effect in corpus luteum you can see the production of the progesterone, estrogen and inhibin. With increasing in the amount of progesterone, estrogen and inhibin, they can feedback negative to the hypothalamus and hypophysis and decrease the levels of LH. With this decretion, the production of progesterone is decreased, and our corpus luteum goes to change into the corpus albicans. We have the corpus luteum. We talked about corpus luteum. In corpus luteum, the granulosa cells changed into the granulosa lutein cells. Theca cells changed into the theca lutein cells. Here we can see our corpus luteum structure. And here we can see the blood clots present in the inner side of the corpus luteum. When we look at the corpus luteum, you can see these larger cytoplasma cells is our granulosa lutein cells, and in low amount and with a darker cytoplasma of theca lutein cells present in the outer side. Both of these cells have a role in production of estrogen and progesterone. And here you can see the corpus albicans formed after the decrease in the amount of progesterone and age. Under the surge of human chorionic gonadotropin, which come from the syncytotrophoblast cells, the corpus luteum changed into the corpus luteum of pregnancy and continue to production of progesterone until the end of the month 4 to 5, and after that changed into the corpus albicans. Okay. Now we are going to talk about the uterine tube. In uterine tube, we have 4 different areas: the infundibulum, which have fimbrias, the ampulla, the longest and expanded region of the tuba uterina, and in this ampulla you can see normal fertilization occur. And also we have isthmus, and also we have the intramural heart, which present in the inner side of the uterus wall. Here is our intramural side, here is our isthmus, this part is the ampulla, and here you can see the infundibulum. In the wall of uterine tube, we have different histologic layers. From inner to the outer, we have mucosa, muscularis, and in the outer side, we have the tunica serosa. The mucosa, here you can see the mucosas, form folding into the luminal side of the tuba uterina. But the muscularis layer not enter into the folding part. In the folded areas, we have only mucosa, and this mucosa composed of the epithelium and underlying lamina propria. The epithelium, here you can see, the type of this epithelium is simple columnar epithelium, and the connective tissue under the epithelium is loose connective tissue. Okay? These 2 structures form our mucosa. Here you can see the mucosa folding. In this part, the outer side, we have muscularis layer composed of the muscle fibers in different ways. Some of them in the inner side arranged in circular way, and in outer side arranged in longitudinal direction. And in the epithelium, again here you can see this folding. This part is our mucosa, here is our luminal side, and here you can see the muscle fiber, the circular fiber layer, the longitudinal fiber layer. Again you can see circular fiber layer and longitudinal muscle fiber layers. But from this part to this part, you can see muscle fibers and compose only the lamina propria and epithelial tissue. Again, here you can see these foldings. This part is the stem side. Here you can see another segment, and this part is the end segment of this folding. And Here in epithelium, we have two types of the cells, the ciliated columnar cells and secretory PEG cells. Here you can see the epithelium. This cells is our secretory columnar, the columnar ciliated cells. You can see some cilia in the apical part. Between them, you can see the PEG cells without any cilia. Here you can see the ciliums in the apical side of the columnar cells. But here you can see cilium. Again, here we have a PEG cell and we have ciliated cell beneath to the PEG cells. The PEG cells have a role in production of the nutrients and proteins to protect the surface of the tubuloterina and also give nutrition to the sperms and also in this part. The cilia in the apical side of the cell have a role in the pushing the sperms toward the ampulla, and then after ovulation, with this cilial movement, the zygote can push toward the inner side of the uterus. And capacitation factors again present in this part. Okay, here we can see the major events in fertilization. You know this part from embryology lectures. I don't want to teach this part for you. Only you can remember the autosomal reaction and the structures of zona pellucida, cortical reaction, and the zonal reaction. Okay, let me give a brief in this part, and after